welcome to another episode of Geekly Revealed. That show that brings you geeky news on a weekly basis. Geeky Weekly, that's weekly, and always remember, calling women females is reductive and it's disgusting. As always, it's me, your host, Dom, aka Brother Dom, all over the internet. And once again, I am joined by two people. Actually, they're cool people. I think they are not horrible. That's pretty fun, right? Would you like to tell them who you are?
Well, I'm a female. My name is Stephanie. aka Cat and Steph on Twitter, The Stoker on Tumblr, Hello Steph on Instagram. And actually, calling women females is the fastest way to a woman's heart.
That sounds wrong, and my name is Eric.
As two cis men, it's very weird to hear something that sounds wrong, and I've been told is wrong. But it doesn't feel like we should be the ones to tell you that it's wrong.
Yeah,
it feels like a trap.
I'm in no place to correct you on that. Don't care to correct you on it. I'm also at Tindy Losi on Twitter.
No, absolutely never, ever do that. Please don't do it. Or at least, or actually, you know what? If you're so inspired to do so because it's the immediate warning sign that we as women need to never speak to you again.
Now, unless you're calling someone a famale, like a tamale, but...
Like a hot tamale.
Yeah, a hot famale.
Is that
just, you know what? That's worse. Never mind.
But that gets you like red flagged for having a bad sense of humor rather than being a creep.
It's like, oh no, this guy's already making dad jokes and we haven't even had children yet.
I was born to make dad jokes.
Oh no. Yeah, we have a big episode today. But before we get into everything, how are you two doing today?
I mean, weirdly sleepy and not sleepy.
Nice.
Yeah, I feel that. I had a very relaxingly productive weekend. My mom was here for my birthday, so we watched like 8 movies, maybe more. We watched,
very nice.
Let's see, we watched Beetlejuice, Men in Black, Raiders, The Last Crusade, and then Rocky Horror, which was a bit of a tonal jump, but then Clue, because we wanted to keep on our Tim Curry biz, and then this morning we watched Rocket Man, so it was 8 or 9. It was very good.
Very nice, very full. Cool. I played a new card game yesterday with my partner. It's a 2-player card game, very fun, had beautiful art. It's called, like, The Fox and the Hunt or something. The rounds are called Tricks. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not, but it's a pretty nifty little game with some strategy involved, so that was nice. Other than that, I've been watching Overwatch League, playing Overwatch, playing some other new games. Bought some Sonic games for cheap, so that's fun. I now own Sonic
sale.
Forces and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the PC, which is a game that I've played before, and man, I watched a friend play it on a keyboard instead of like a controller, and that was rough to watch because he was having a hard time on Crazy Gadget, a level that I don't know why they made. It's very rude and mean.
I think I remember that in that game. I guess I should also take back, I'm not only sleepy, I played a lot of games this week.
He's tired from all the effort he put into gaming.
It's true.
Some games have come out this week, but we're really going to talk more about announcements and stuff. Did you play Ninjala?
I did.
How do you like it? I downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
I played one round. So it's free to play, and everything about that shows like the way that it's like presented and everything, which isn't always a bad thing. It's just like, I don't know. Though I think I described it to you as like Splatoon, but with outdated Zoomer vibes.
Yeah.
How do you have an outdated Zoomer vibe?
Because, like, one of the weapons was literally a fidget spinner.
Oh, I don't like that.
like things like that, like where it feels like they were trying, like, I don't know if they were like trying to be like tongue-in-cheek about it, but like, I don't know,
like read that way.
Yeah, like, and it was cool. I like the idea behind it and everything, but like, I don't know, it being on a Nintendo system means that the netcode ain't great. And it's an online multiplayer game, so...
Yeah, they've had several test games, I think, like sort of an open beta, and they were always notoriously difficult to get into. Not because they were restricting access, like Valorant did, but because the internet was restricting access.
Yeah.
I did play one round, and due to the bad Nintendo netcode and it being a test, I don't know if I wasn't actually hitting people because I was bad at the game, or if because it wasn't registering. So I'm like, well, I'm not hitting anybody, but I don't seem to be dying that much, but I'm dying some. So I don't know what's going on.
Like, I did fairly well. Like, I came in third on the one match I played, but, like, I also kind of was like, well, this just kind of feels like madness, because it's just a free-for-all. So it was just like, just go and hit things. You get points for hitting things, so it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna go, like, not care about dying and go hit things as much as I can. Like...
Yeah, Splatoon has that team element that kind of focuses you, like, it focuses a bunch of people in the same direction, so even if you're out doing your own thing, there's only one opposing force. So you know, like, oh, okay, there's a different color over there. But I think the reason it's an outdated Zoomer aesthetic is not because they were necessarily trying to copy Zoomers. I don't know if they were. But Splatoon kind of has, like, that 90s vibe going on. 90s mixed with modern. And that's throwback enough that it's not like, oh man, I can't believe you're so behind. That was so last year. It was like, no, that was 20 years ago. But if you're trying to, like, capture the early 2010s aesthetic, that was, like, a couple years ago. So it's going to seem like you're just late rather than trying to do pastiche.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not far enough behind to be vintage yet.
And that's a rough place to be in. But yeah, I mean, it looks alright. It has black characters in it. There's a black boy and a black girl, so that's cool. And the hair doesn't look like trash, which is huge, so that's good.
The customization options out the gate are a little bit weak, but I did manage to make a character that looks like Hatsune Miku if she had, like, trans pride color hair.
Nice.
That's pretty dope. Like a digital Sylveon.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we have this on the list for later, when we talk about anime, but let's make sure we remember the Cyberpunk 2077 customization options, because there's some shit involved with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's stick on the Nintendo vibe and talk about announcements.
Pokemans?
About what?
Pokemans?
Yeah, let's talk about Pokemon. Let's do it.
You did just mention Sylveon, so you know it's still on theme.
It's perfect. So some games were announced last week, and some games came out. So we're gonna do both. But back when Pokemon Snap got announced, they announced a game called Pokemon Cafe Mix for Switch and mobile, and that game came out like a couple days later, like this past week, and we've all had a chance to play it. So who has some ideas? It's a cute little game.
Yeah, it's neat to play. It's one of those things where, like, it's clearly designed as a free to play mobile game, but it's also, like, really cute. Like, if anything, I think the art in it's just super cool.
Yeah, it's got this super cute kind of, like, watercolory aesthetic. Like, I don't know, it's very cute. It gets frustrating pretty quickly. At least in my opinion, the physics are very, very, like, tightly coded. So, like, if you fuck up just even a little bit in what you're trying to do, like, you've blown the whole round, basically.
Yep.
Which can be frustrating. And, like, I've been stuck on the same level for ages, because, like, ages, quote unquote, obviously, like, it's been out for, like, less than a week, but... but, like, since last night, I've been caught on the same level because, like, the way that they add challenges in, and, like, gimmicks in...
It's built to make you use items.
Yeah, it's built to make you use items, and items cost money if you haven't earned them. Or, like, burned them through the game, and there's no way to, like, go farm items.
Right, like, you can't go back to previous levels to, like, grind them out.
It's exactly the kind of mobile game that Nintendo makes, basically.
Yeah. I called it on Twitter, like, a digital quarter muncher, and I've played other free-to-play games that were designed to make you spend money with microtransactions, but this one seemed a little bit different. Like, the ones I played were like, so in order to unlock characters and get powerful, you're gonna have to spend money, but to play, like, yeah, you could spend money or you could just wait. I was, like, happy. I think I spent maybe $10, $15 on it, because I really wanted to get Sonic. That was my goal. Once I got Sonic, I'm like, well, the rest is just gravy now. Like, he's really good, and I was able to choose the game. But with Pokemon Cafe Mix, like you said, you have a certain amount of turns per life. If you win, you don't lose a life, but you have a certain amount of turns per stage, and if you run out, you can spend 900 coins, or, well, golden acorns in this game, to get 3 more tries. Or to, like, buy other items and stuff like that. And I feel a lot of times that I am 1 or 2 turns away from winning, which I knew that was a thing in Candy Crush, because you could design that a little bit better because items fell straight down. But in this, where it's physics based, it's like, okay, so did you expect me to beat this with one turn left, or like why am I so consistently close? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like how did you play it? Like there was one level that I was stuck on for a while, and I finally burned the coins or whatever to get the extra turns to finish it, and then the next level I finished with like 8 turns left.
Yeah,
it was like,
especially on stages where they introduce a new gimmick, those ones tend to be pretty easy with like 8 turns left.
Yeah,
almost as if to like trick you to say, "Oh, I know you struggled on that one, so here's some coins back," but not actually.
Yeah, it's kind of very like I don't know how to best put it other than like very gamified in the way that mobile games tend to be. Though, like a lot of companies are moving away from that kind of development.
Yeah, so Game Freak is pretty late to the party by doing something like this. That said, though, I mean, it's one of those things that if it wasn't like a free to play like ring you of your wallet kind of game, it'd be really fun and nice. You know, like the idea of like swirling stuff around, like it feels fun to like get all the little icons going and like make a big mass. You know, like the different gimmicks like match icons next to this thing to break it down, or these ones float, or you need to drag these into a basket. If there wasn't an artificial limit on this game, it would be pretty fun. I think it would be very easy to enjoy and not get frustrated, but it's monetization way to make money it's built to separate you from it rather than have you willingly give them money.
Yeah.
Or at least like not willingly, but like in like League of Legends or Overwatch and stuff like that, it's psychologically messes with you because like, oh man, don't you want to look cool like everybody else? Like that's scummy, but it's real scummy to be like, hey, don't you want to play this game? Like, yeah,
yeah.
Could I just give you some money and just be able to play it? Like,
yeah, because it's the difference between like, yeah, as you said, like Candy Crush, things like that, where it's like punishing you for not spending money by basically saying like you don't get to play the game. Whereas there are a lot of mobile games like almost like a couple of the Final Fantasy ones and different things like that, where it's like, hey, like you can play this game without giving us money. It might be harder,
yeah,
but like you're still going to be able to unlock characters and do stuff like that. Like you just might not get specific cosmetics or abilities or something.
Yeah, like I've like in 4 years of playing Pokemon Go, I've probably sunk maybe like $20 into it to just like get coins faster or whatever. But like in general, like you don't have to put like you can. There are longer, like more roundabout ways to get anything and almost anything in Pokemon Go that you can buy with money, like without paying money.
Yeah, and also I think I don't mind spending money on a game if I'm going to play it for a long time. Like how you said, you played that game for 4 years and counting.
Yeah.
If someone said, hey, you could have had the same experience plus some more items from the outset, but you don't like if you just pay us like $40 up front. Like, yeah, if you knew the game was going to be a whole 4 years, that's a nice proposition. But I don't know if Pokemon Cafe Mix is going to make it to the end of the year with updates, you know?
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Masters didn't last that long, mostly because it just wasn't that fun of a game. They didn't try to screw you out of your money. It just wasn't that good, which was depressing. It was a very cool concept. It just wasn't that fun. I don't know. It's worth downloading. It's free. There's not ads. And at least the first 10 or 20 levels don't seem like they're trying to like wreck you out of your money. And the Pokemon are really cute. They get little cafe uniforms with like a hat and a tie or beret or something. And
God, they're so cute.
They're so adorable. Cute. It's worth playing just to see how it goes. And that's what I'm really taking it as. Hey, you know, I'll play it if it's there. I'm going to log in once a day to get the little treats. I'm not going to take it that seriously. I have enough Overwatch to piss me off. Like, I don't need another game that I'm putting time into.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you said, like, there are no ads, but, like, there are plenty of games that I play that I'm willing to watch, like, a 10-second ad to get, or, like, a 30-second ad even to get, like, a credit that I otherwise wouldn't. Like, Duolingo does that, like...
Oh, I've watched every ad on Duolingo so far of 18 days. It's not a lot, but I've done it every day.
Like, it just, like, I'm happy to, like, be the thing that gives you money if it helps, like, if it means that I don't have to pay you money. Or something. Like, I will put my phone down for 30 seconds and do something else. Like, I'm not going to actually watch the ad, but, like...
I'll watch your Mafia City ads.
How's that ad go again?
It's like 2 women sitting at a table, or 1 woman sitting at a table, another woman comes up who apparently that woman doesn't like. She just slams her hand on the table and goes, "God damn!" And And then the ad ends, and I don't know what they're supposed to be advertising to me for.
That's a compelling ad, though, because I want to know what happens.
Because you want to know more.
Yeah. We've talked a lot about Pokemon Cafe Mix for this game
Yeah.
that I don't think required that, but, it's fun to talk about. We're having a good time here. Other Pokemon announcements. So, apparently, Game Freak said they had another big announcement coming out. So, people decided on their own terms that was going to mean, like...
a new game.
Yeah, like a Pokemon Let's Go Johto, or, Sinnoh Gen 4 remakes.
Yeah, remake of Diamond and Pearl.
Which, like... I don't know
you
if
did that. Like, you decided that. Like, don't be mad when they don't give you that.
Yeah. So, what they did release was Pokemon Unite, and, Game Freak and Nintendo never want to just straight up call things what people call them, but it's a MOBA, so think League of Legends, Dota, the non-shooty parts of Overwatch if you really want to get broad with it, but basically, you pick your characters and you want to go into a battlefield and fight the other characters, and Pokemon is a very good fit for this style of game, I think. And I don't think people would disagree with that, but 3 things about this game. Thing number 1, it was considered a big announcement. People thought it was going to be something else. Thing number 2, it's coming to mobile, as well as Switch, and I think we're kind of past the point where, I know it's a meme for Blizzard saying, what, you guys don't have phones, but, like, everybody has a phone, and they're pretty powerful at this point. Like, you could put a good-ass game on mobile, like...
Yeah.
People play Fortnite and Call of Duty and, like, Hearthstone and auto chess games on their phones just fine.
Dude, one of my friends has been trying to get... Every time we have, a quote-unquote happy hour, she's been trying to get us to all download Call of Duty mobile to play with her. We're like, no, we're
Aren't
not going to do
publishing?
That. Yes! Yes, she's just, like, the gamer boy, like, frat bro-est lesbian of all time, and wants us to play Call of Duty with her.
People love
online.
It has a very big scene. I don't think you'd have the worst time, especially because I don't think there's going to be voice or match chat on the mobile version. So you don't have to deal with
there's not.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with people calling you slurs. At least, so I guess that's the best way to experience Call of Duty is probably on a phone. That's wild. I never would have predicted that. But yeah, phones can run this. So I think there's a little bit of like mobile bias. People are like, oh, it's just a crappy mobile game. Like that's also coming to Switch. Where, like, Smash and Splatoon are. And then the third thing is that it's being developed by Tencent, who are, like, the people over Epic and Fortnite. It's a Chinese company. And although the hot take that I had is there's a lot of reasons to hate Tencent, but I think a lot of people just hate them. They don't
Chinese.
know why. Yeah, they're like, oh, this Chinese company, I'm like, that has done what? Like, why are you mad at this company? There's legitimate reasons, but, like, why do you hate them?
Yeah, like, it's like, there's legitimate reasons, but, like, do you know any of them?
Right, like, people can just be mad if they want, but, like, there are legitimate, like, security and, like, privacy issues, and, like,
absolutely
supporting something that supports a, like, oppressive regime.
Absolutely.
So it's like people on, like... Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, it's like people being mad at TikTok for being, like, where Zoomers exist, but, like... There are lots of good reasons to be wary of TikTok.
I was going to say, like, that actually just came out this week, too, and I know it's not on our little document here, but TikTok, like, was reverse engineered by a group that posted, like, a big thing about it on Reddit. Don't fucking use TikTok.
Yeah, it, like, harvests data and all kinds of stuff like that.
Beyond that, like, if you're using the Android app, it has, like, API, like...
It can, like, download shit to your phone.
Yeah, it can download and unzip files straight to your phone, like... No other thing should be able to do that.
Yeah, so, like, again, legitimate reasons to hate TikTok, and if that's your reason, cool, but if you're like, oh, I think it's just, it's annoying social media and teens are taking it too far, like, that's a bad reason to hate TikTok, like, you're just a jackass. And that's kind of how I feel about with people disliking Tencent. And that always seems to be, like, the last reason people hate things. Like, they hated the Epic Store because I don't want to put another program on my computer. I don't want to have to use another store to download games. Also, it's owned by Tencent. I'm like, sounds like that's just, like, not the reason you're actually mad. So it's, like I said, it's complicated. As far as the game itself goes, I think it's a cool idea. Your Pokemon evolve over time and get different moves, and you play it like a MOBA. And... seeing as Nintendo is so bad at having voice and match chat, I probably won't have to get called the N-word when I play it, so that's like a plus.
There you fucking go.
I thought it was a cool idea. I wouldn't have made a big stink about it. being a Pokemon MOBA, like, because I know how Pokemon fans are, but it's a cool idea. And these recent games that have come out from Pokemon have all new art, so it's not like they're just reusing assets. It's like a lot of work going into these, so it seems cool. Any other thoughts on that kind of stuff?
Is this going to be something that the netcode being bad is going to reflect it on again, or?
I definitely think the Switch version will suffer from that, but like I think the interface within phones will hopefully make that better. But
yeah, and there might have to be like central servers or something. Like if it's going to be, I think it's going to be cross-platform between mobile and Switch. So you're going to have some kind of low. It's not going to be server to server kind of thing.
Yeah. The only other thing from like Pokemon related is I did manage to finally get through the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was pretty good. Like this first one was apparently the smaller of the two. Like that was another big thing that leaked this week was Game Freak. Yeah, so Game Freak, like we already knew that there was going to be a second DLC called like the Crown Tundra or something. But for whatever reason, all of the data about that like expansion was downloaded with the current one.
Sure, of course.
So like people basically were able to just open up their information on the Switch, like go through the program files and basically like
see
kind
everything.
of like like pull through the code to find like everything that was going to happen in the next expansion. Which
sure, why not?
But it sounds like that one's going to be much bigger. Like this one was kind of like it was still sizable, but it was apparently the smaller of the two. But it was fun.
Cool.
Not a whole lot to say about it other than like
It was fun.
Yeah, the new version of Slowbro looks cool. He has a gun arm.
Gun arm.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, I think it's that's some other point. I think maybe somebody on Twitter, right? I saw was why the hell would Pokemon announce another generation like update when we're still like we're not even like we're still in Sword and Shield era? Like, what do you mean? Like, why would we talk? Hey, I know we want you to buy the DLC for Sword and Shield, but here's something from Diamond and Pearl. Like, that doesn't even make sense to do right now.
The only reason I could see them doing that is because previously, like on the 3DS, it was kind of an every other year they would do like a new, like, new edition, and then they would do like a revisit of an old one.
Yeah. So,
and like people thought that that's how it was going to continue because like the first thing they put it on Switch was after Sun and Moon, they put out the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which were technically remakes of the first games. Right. So they thought like, oh, well, Sword and Shield's going to come out and then they'll put out a remake of another game. Maybe it'll be, Let's Go Johto, where it'll be like this Gold and Silver, or maybe it'll finally be a remake of Gen 4, which everyone seems to want so badly.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. I mean, that's the one I came back to after skipping Ruby and Sapphire, but like, if they don't make it anytime, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Like, it's...
Yeah.
The Pokemon fans, they're like, oh man, Game Freak needs to stop pumping out these games every other year and focus on them. Like, okay, and like, why aren't you releasing another one?
Choose
you got
one.
Mad at me.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like, that's why they have other studios making these other games, like, because they were probably in development already. But yeah, more Nintendo announcements. That's cool, right? Min Min was announced for Smash. Min Min from ARMS. She is not just a little Mac with range, which is good.
Yeah, woo! We celebrate. We wipe our brows in relief.
Yes, because Little Mac is bad. She seems pretty complicated to use, like not complex, ideologically wise. I don't know how to say that, but like in execution, the idea of using her is going to be tricky. Like instead of special moves, you like change your arms and stuff like that. So your A will be one arm and your B will be the other arm. So she's a very mechanically unique character. It'll take a lot to fully utilize her. She's not good close up, but she looks pretty cool. I think it's a good rep, and the people behind ARMS said every character is the main character, not just Springman. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, that's why he's on all the art, and he's the main, like, he's the one who has Spring in his name. Like, okay, but fine. It is cool to see one of the women get in. I would have loved to see Twintel. I understand why you did not use one of the more unique characters, but I would have really preferred to see a black character who is not an alt be used. Other than that, I mean, I don't think people were that upset. Everyone was like, yeah, Min Min's cool. It's not Springman. Sakurai's house looks pretty cool, and...
Yeah, he has a very small couch.
And 2 giant TVs, because like sometimes when I'm playing, I want to have TV on, or if I have company, we can compete against each other. And someone was like, I just imagine that's the cups that Toby Fox was on when he was beating Sakurai at Smash Bros. Because that's something he said, that Sakurai said happened, so...
Just squashed together on this tiny couch.
Just two bros on a couch. But also, they did announce some Mii costumes.
Not 5 feet apart.
Not 5 feet apart. Like I predicted, they did announce some Mii costumes, so we get Callie Marie from Splatoon, Heihachi from Tekken, or Virtua Fighter, I can't remember, but it's a costume that was on Smash 4 that we just buy again. And Pip-Boy, or whatever his name is, from Fallout, the little icon.
Oh, yeah,
mascot.
the little...
Vault Boy.
Vault Boy, yeah. Vault Boy.
Remember, his name is not Fallout Boy.
You know, Fallout Boy from Fallout. Thanks for the murmurs.
Which means Skyrim for Smash confirmed. Or Skyrim confirmed for Smash Ultimate. Smash could run Skyrim, right?
I mean, the Switch runs Skyrim.
Yeah, I meant just the game of Smash. I'm just making a joke, but yeah, that's fun. The video game announcements did not stop there, though. Crash 4 has been announced. It's about time.
It is about time.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're finally making a 4th Crash game.
That's the description and the title. But yeah, it's the 4th Crash Bandicoot game.
That's what it is.
Like, how many times have you beaten this guy? 3 times? Oh, it seems like it's been more than that, which I don't know if it's a full retcon or just, hey, here's where the 4th game is in the timeline, but yeah, what y'all think about
really
a new Crash
good.
game in the style of the old Crash games?
I think it looks really good. It looks fun, and kind of like, I feel like they've updated Crash's kind of aesthetic for a 90s, or like from like a, like, that kind of like Sonic Cool Guy 90s thing to like one of his like idol animations is like him taking a selfie now, I think.
Yeah.
Like that.
Jobs.
Coco looks good.
Yes.
Coco
I do like
looks
their
so
new
good. I love her.
designs. There's been some controversy, though, apparently.
Really? About Coco?
Yes.
Leave my
Because
my wife alone.
And I don't know how true this is, but I saw someone upset that this was a controversy. They weren't upset about this fact. Apparently, some nerds online are upset because Coco's chest is smaller. In this
come
new
on.
design.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
I heard that was a thing, and someone's
Go
like...
be a furry elsewhere.
She's
like,
a
I hope that's
child.
not- She is a child, I assume. She must be a child, right?
I thought so.
I don't know how old Crash is, so...
I feel like she's gotta be like a teen. Like, at best.
She's very, like, cool girl teen. But yeah, you know, people are weird. They raised this concern when Spyro Reignited Trilogy came out about some character in that game, too. Some kangaroo lady. So, you know, people are gonna be shitheads online, but I don't think it wasn't even, like, a vocal minority. It was, like, some dudes, I think. Fuck that.
Fuck them.
I think the designs look really cool, though. I think it's fun that Crash just doesn't talk. Lots of fun stuff. And, he can grind on rails now?
That's
okay.
cool.
Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah.
I don't know if he stole it from Sonic or from Ratchet and Clank. Because that one scene, he's wearing, like, a spacesuit and has a mask on his back. And I'm like, is that Ratchet and Clank? Because his ears pop out of the head like Ratchet's do. And he had a thing on his back like Clank. And he's grinding on a rail in space. I'm like, is that... Did they throw Ratchet into this game, like, as a cameo? Or what is this? That'd be cool, but yeah. So, I don't know. That's pretty fun. Crash is coming back. Oh, hell, Crash. Put him in
Very
Smash,
excited.
please.
Crash is back, baby.
Baby.
Hey, B.
Do we, where do we want to move next? We could go straight down the line. Let's talk about some anime reveals, 'cause that's still video games, I guess.
They're both still they're video game animes.
I was gonna say the Cyberpunk one was revealed during the Cyberpunk conference that they or like presentation that they gave on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah. So let's get into that. But right before it, The World Ends With You, that Square Enix game, that's getting an anime. That's a fan base that's been starved for content and always praise that Square Enix will say something. So happy for them. Those are cool character designs. I'd love to play that game one day. But let's get into the meat. Let's get into Cyberpunk 2077.
I was just gonna say real quick, the Square Enix really you can tell it's a Square Enix game. Let's say character design wise.
Well, more specifically, you can tell it's a Nomura designed game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, like, before I realized that it was a wholly separate game, I thought it was just Kingdom Hearts that I didn't know.
I thought that too when I first saw it, and I don't know why they're not in Kingdom Hearts. There's no reason not to put them there.
Because they're not part of the Final Fantasy series that Kingdom Hearts draws off of. I don't know.
That's true, but just throw them in. Why not?
The Nomura demands content.
I demand it. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is perpetually delayed. No one knows when it's ever coming out, but maybe they keep saying it.
It's a video game?
It is a video game from CD Projekt Red, are the people who made Witcher 3 and probably the other Witcher games.
Yes, also the other Witcher games.
Just making sure. But yeah, they're making a Cyberpunk game that has been under lots of fire, lots of hype, controversy, hope, everything you can imagine. And the devs continue to seem tone deaf about some things and smarter than they seem on some other things. So there's a lot going on in that. But I just saw a picture on Twitter, not just now, but I had seen one, from an article at Kotaku, just doing some preview stuff, because I guess a lot of preview information has come out.
I like that you waited till we were recording to share this in the chat so that we would have to react in real time.
Oh, I already knew about this.
Assumed that Eric had saw it.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
It's news to you. So, the customization, they're talking a lot about it because they want there to be somewhat freedom in gender. They kind of fucked it up on the trans rep, even though they definitely seem like they're trying and are fucking it up. Because if your the pitch of your voice is a certain, like if people assume the pitch of your voice is a certain gender, that's what your gender will be, even if it doesn't match what you would be, which sucks for, I guess, women with deep voices and men with higher voices. They don't account for that. And
I mean, to be fair, that's probably the most realistic thing about a game, because I guarantee you that's how a lot of people do it.
Yeah, what you mean, like misgendering people? Yeah, that's probably realistic that you would get misgendered in real life, which is a shitty real life. I've seen some of my trans friends saying, like, yep, that's something that happens to me, and while some people would say it's realistic, some people that's just a shitty reminder that the world's bigoted against me, which...
Yeah, for sure.
I would defer to trans people to tell you about the trans experience. I can only tell you the things that I've seen other people that experience this, what I've seen them say, so don't take me for word for it. However, what I can tell you about is when shit just gets goofy.
Please read the whole thing.
Yeah, so I'm going to read the whole thing. So this post is from Nibelion on Twitter, but it's just an excerpt from the Kotaku piece. For those who want to see every option, there's a lot. 6 skin types, 35 hairstyles, 17 eyes, 8 eyebrows, 17 eyes, again, it's a typo, 17 mouths, 17 jaws, 17 ears, 8 bits of quote-unquote cyberware, as well as no cyberware, whatever that'll mean, 9 types of scars, plus off, 6 types of tats, plus off, so I guess you could just not have scars or tattoos, 11 piercings, plus off, 5 types of teeth, 8 bits of eye makeup, 9 bits of lip makeup, plus off, 3 blemishes, 3 types of nipples, 5 types of body tats, 2 types of body scars, 2 dick types, 1 vagina option, dick size options, and 5 types of pubic hairs. So, like...
How often are you naked in this game that you need to have even a single genitalia option?
I assume more than twice. I don't know if they're just talking about, like, the bulge that you would have, or crevasse, however you would want to put it.
Crevasse?
You can, hey, whatever
That's
it would
what
be.
I call it. Crevasse.
Not the first thing that stuck out to me, but the first thing that stuck out to me past the obvious things is that they say dick, but vagina. As if they're like, well, we can't say penis. That was
gay. Kotaku saying it, so...
That's what I'm saying, like, this article is just funny to me.
Yeah.
Weird that there's... So I'm assuming I know the 2 dick types, but it's weird that, like, we're only going to give you 1 vagina option, because those are all the same, right? And anyone who's ever seen one was like, no, that's false. That's false. That's false if you watch only pornography. That's false if you watch anime. I don't know whether, like, 1 option, that's all you get, which is not an option.
That's just you get to check the box, yes.
Dick size options, cool.
I'm just like, okay,
cool.
So...
No breast size options? That seems like a
Yeah,
odd
where
oversight.
are boobs? Are boobs not included?
I'm sure they are.
5 types of pubic hair, but no boobs.
Also, can you imagine that you're the dev, like the art designer, and they're like, okay, it's crunch time. We need you to make at least 4 more types of pubic hair.
Well, that's simple.
Will I be paid for this overtime? No.
You have the all on, you have the all off, you have the triangle, you have the landing strip, you have the trim. Simple. I put me in game dev. Let me be a producer.
Put me in game dev.
Put me in producer. I'm ready to make the pubic hair. But yeah, that's. I guess you're naked enough then, because it must be more than the bulge then.
It makes me think of was it like God of War or something where there was like a side quest where you had to like hit A to fuck.
Yeah,
every God of War game has had that pretty much.
That's not a side quest, Steph. That's a way of life.
You can restore your health in I think God of War 2 by going and like sleeping with like concubines or whatever.
Lord.
3 blemishes. Does that mean like what does that mean, like freckles, a mole? Like, are they calling those blemishes, or do you mean like you have like a bad zit that day? It's part of your life.
You got a acne scar there, my guy. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing about this customization list is like if this is the final list, like that's actually not all that impressive.
No, it's really not. It's just...
I've played anime games with more like customization options than this. Like Code Vein has more than this does.
Oh yeah, this isn't that. This is only impressive for like, again, I'm fine with developers not crunching. I'd prefer that.
Yeah.
My point is this. I think someone said it. If you're going to make people crunch, you better be putting out the best damn thing in the world, because it's not going to justify it. But if you put out some mediocre bullshit and you crunch, like that was sadistic without a profit motive, so that was pointless. And for you to say, we have 1 vagina option, sorry, I'm not going to appreciate crunch so that you could draw 1 vagina, bro. Like, that's not enough. 5 pubic hair options? CJ had more hair options than San Andreas on the PS2. What the hell are we doing here? Like,
Look, all I'm saying about this is that the McElroy brothers will not be able to do a Monster Factory.
This is not sufficient customization options for a Monster Factory.
That just says everything. It's a game called Cyberpunk where you can get cyber implants and there's 8 bits of cyberware you can have.
That's not enough cyberwares.
Does that mean we're gonna have to like buy them later, or is that all we have? Because come on, Chief, like...
I have a feeling this cannot be the full list. Like, I'm not sitting here like critiquing like, oh, there needs to be way more customization options, but like at the same time, like if you're gonna sit here and try to tout this as being like incredibly detailed, I don't see it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if that's all that was in your game, cool. If that's supposed to impress me, nah, man. Like, I've had a PS2 before. This isn't enough. I've had Child with more options than this in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. But no, I really just posted it because it's just a funny thing to be like, it's just funny to say there's 5 pubic hair options. That's just a weird level of specificity that, like, I guess we made it. But I guess we all laughed when they said Geralt's beard would grow in Witcher 3, so this is par for the course for CD Projekt Red.
Look, I'm just saying that there's more than 5 types of pubic hair options in most, like, porn games.
I'm gonna take your word for that.
I mean, like, I'm assuming at least. I honestly don't know.
It's ridiculous. But no, it's fine. Robert Yang had a good point about this. He's like, is this going to be available on Twitch? Because, like, my like, gay porn games repeatedly get banned on Twitch. So, like, is this going to be allowed because it's a AAA game? Like, what's going to happen? And that's a very good question, I think. Are they going to make an exception for a game that they deem quote-unquote important or real? Or are they going to stand by their guns? It's Twitch, so we can make a healthy assumption.
Yeah.
Not to make anybody too uncomfortable with the previous discussion. It's kind of funny to laugh, but I understand how that might be weird to hear. Some bros and a lady laugh about this kind of stuff, so apologies for that. Which is appropriate to apologize at this point and to bring up the next topic, I think. We're going to jump around
apologies?
a little bit. Huh?
Speaking of apologies?
Yeah, speaking of apologies and people being... well, we weren't being shitty, we were just being kind of dumb. So lots of internet permabans and, people not actually being canceled, but like being held accountable or called out. I don't know what exactly was the catalyst for this. There doesn't need to be one. It just seemed like a bunch of people were like, nah, fuck this, we're tired of being harassed and staying silent. These dudes need to go, which is always a healthy discussion to have. Was it Chris D'Elia being canceled, actually?
I think that might be where it started.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck that guy, but why would you play a pedophile on TV twice if you have, like, these tendencies to hit on underage girls? Like, well, yeah, underage girls, is that the proper term to say children?
Yeah, just children.
Yeah, children. If you're going, like, you shouldn't do that. You should never do that. It just seems very on the nose to also play that on TV twice in 2 separate shows. But anyway, so lots of people are getting called out for their abusive behaviors, which is good. We need these people to be called out. It'd be better if they weren't doing these things in the first place, but better to bring it to light. And it's just been a lot in the news. Like, every couple days we're hearing about somebody who was a piece of shit. None of the people who we've been saying are pieces of shit have, like, gone away, so cancel culture continues to not be a real thing.
Yeah, right. We got J.K. Rowling, we've got Ansel Elgort lately,
I mean...
Chris D'Elia, like...
What's-his-face got finally suspended off Twitter, so I mean, that is progress.
Yeah.
Graham
Lina, yeah. Glinner.
Which was very funny to see in my Twitter inbox. Like, hey, an account you reported has had action taken on. I'm like, I haven't reported this guy in months. Like, this just... Y'all are whack. But yeah, so... But, I mean... He's probably not being canceled. He's, like, on other services and stuff, but...
Although there was a really funny interaction I saw where, because his whole shtick is complaining about trans women being men invading female spaces.
Yeah.
And there was a really funny interaction I saw that apparently he went to, like, some, like mother-daughter forum to complain about being banned from Twitter, and they were like, it seems like you're a dude. Like, why are you here?
Yeah, like things like called Mumsnet or something like that. Yeah, he basically was, ironically enough, being a cis man who is a man invading a women's space for
to complain about women. Yeah, uninvited to complain about women.
So, you know, it continues to be the kind of people that would be in a women's space uninvited are not trans women, but are men being pieces of shit. And even they didn't want him there, which is, you know, I guess it's
good. And, you know, I also saw, just to, like, at least be, like, one small good thing about trans things on Twitter, is I saw an article there, like, a Reddit post, like, kind of like a shot chaser thing about, like, a mom who was like, I found these pills in my son's pants, and I'm worried, I'm not trying to narc on him, like, I don't know what, like, I just want to make sure he's being safe. And then it turned out that she found out that they were hormone pills.
Okay.
And so she, like, went to, like, talk to her kid about it, and her kid was like, I'm trans. And she was like, oh my gosh, I just wanted to tell you that, like, I love and support you, and I wanted, like, and, like, what do you want me to call you? Like, let's, like, I'll start using she, her pronouns right now. And I was like, oh, this is so heartwarming and wholesome.
That's great. Wow. It seems like it's amazingly easy to not be a shitty parent if you just decide to treat your children like human beings. Who would have thought
wild. Truly wild concept.
But yeah, lots of people online are being discussed for their transgressions. I don't even know where to start with all this. Jenna Marbles decided to step out of YouTube for doing blackface in the past, which is, hey, cool. If you thought you did some bad shit, like, it's all right to make amends for it. People are saying cancel culture went too far, but I don't think she got canceled. She said, hey, this wasn't great, so I'm gonna, like, relax for a little bit.
Yeah, like, no one called her out. She, like, upon further, like, thought about her past was like, I should apologize for this bad thing I did, like.
Which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. It's good to apologize and learn and grow.
She also probably is pretty already comfortably well off.
Yeah, also.
Can afford to step back like that.
Yeah.
Like, plenty of people who are well off are making videos apologizing for, like, rescinding their white privilege or, like, singing Imagine with Gal Gadot. So, like...
Yeah, so, like, on the scale...
Actions go.
Yeah, like, not a bad thing. Like, I'm not going to get mad at someone for saying, hey, I shouldn't have been shitty before. I will say that, like, hey, people are like, oh, that was so long ago, no one was saying anything. Like, that's because Twitter wasn't big and people thought it was bad at the time, but, like, no one would listen to us if we were like, Jenna Marbles is racist because she did blackface. Like, no one would listen to you in 2012 if you said that. So it's like, people have always been upset, you just didn't care. But, you know, good for her for apologizing. I hope she is growing and isn't doing it just for cynical reasons. I don't watch her content. I'm not a big fan, but if people like that, that's their jam. Cool. Shane Dawson has trying to apologize, but
he's apologizing for something, but no one's quite sure what. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I think for doing like racist and like pedophilic jokes, and people like, but that's someone who has been tried to be canceled many times before, and it never sticks because cancel culture's fake. But no,
because he's a white guy on YouTube.
Yeah. He makes really inappropriate jokes all the time, and the difference between somebody like him and PewDiePie is that, like, Shane Dawson's one of the people that gets considered cringe, or that people just don't like him that much on, like, burrier parts of the internet. Yeah, so, like, no one comes to his defense until it's like, yeah, I just think cancel culture might be strong. That's when he'll get defended, but, like, most people are like, yo, didn't you, like, fuck a cat, or, like, make jokes about, like touching children? Like, aren't you, like, a shitbag? And it's like, yeah. There's that. White people are stepping down from roles that should go to people of color, which is, there's a lot of debate around that. You know, in good faith, the debates are interesting, but it's often not in good faith.
Like, it's one of those things. Go ahead.
Oh, like Jenny Slate is stepping down from voicing a black character in Big Mouth. They both have Jewish parents, and I'm like, I don't care what y'all do in Big Mouth. I don't fuck with Big Mouth. That's a weird show to me. I love Mulaney, but I don't know what the fuck that show is.
I was gonna say, I think the best take I saw on that was, you know, good on her for stepping down on that, but I think everybody should step down from voicing on Big Mouth.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that at all, and I really try not to be somebody who, like, yucks other people's yum, but I'm like, yo, there's, like, jokes in this that, like, make me feel uncomfortable, like, these are children, and these jokes don't, like, they seem weird, and
yeah, crazy.
I know that these are things that happen, or people have felt these things, but, like, that don't mean I want to see it or, like, look at it.
Yeah.
And, like, South Park has done similar things, and people didn't fuck with it, and it's, like, not just okay because it's not bigoted, it still could be shitty, like, but, you know, cool for her. She's like, I didn't think it was a big idea, like, a big deal at the time, because, you know, we both have Jewish heritage, da-da-da, and it's like, okay, like, good thing to do. Someone stepped down, like, somebody apologized for being,
BoJack
like...
Horseman, there was a Vietnamese character.
Yeah, the character is Vietnamese, and I think some discussion had been had about it in the past, and they're like, yo, we want to do some things to right it, we shouldn't have done that. So
yeah, that was more of an apology from the writer, I think, was like...
Yeah, about, like, casting her.
Yeah. So, you know, cool. Stuff like that. And then any other major ones? Oh, Mike Henry, I think his name, stepped down from voicing Cleveland on Family Guy, which is, again, everyone should step down from voicing on Family Guy.
Yeah.
I think it was The Simpsons are fully recasting.
Yeah, which is, they're doing it now because it's in vogue, but they threw a shit fit when someone's
like, did it say right about Apu? Like,
yeah. Maybe like Castaneda shouldn't have been voicing Apu with like an offensive Indian accent, and everyone threw a shit fit about that, and even they were like a little bit defensive about it, or Matt Groening was. But now that it's like, hey, everyone's doing it, and maybe this was racist, like, oh, you know, like, we won't have white people voice characters of colors. Like, you mean Apu and Carl? Like, the two characters in that show that aren't just like white people yellow?
Yeah.
Just lots of stuff. Tina Fey was talking about, like, oh, we're going to remove the episodes of 30 Rock that had blackface, and people are like, episodes? Like, excuse me? Like,
there were 4!
Sorry?
There were 4!
People are like, nah, man, keep that shit up there. Like, we need to know that you thought this shit was funny 4 times. I think Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, like, is pretty offensive, too, because Tina Fey has a bad relationship with race and has continued to.
Yeah.
Well, my understanding of Kimmy Schmidt is that the main character is supposed to be Native American.
The main
or, like, someone is supposed to be Native American and is played by a white person. Yeah, I've never seen the show, but...
And it's, like, part of the joke, and it's, like, that's a okay joke, but it's, like, not when it's a main character, and they don't really get called out for it that much.
It's, like, the reason that no one ever bitches about Robert Downey Jr. being in blackface in Tropic Thunder is because that's the joke.
Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah. Like, that's why people don't, like, try to... Like, every
cancel
now and then
Robert Downey Jr. Every now and again, someone, like, trolling, like, alt-right person will be like, well, why don't, like, you love Tony Stark so much? Like, he did blackface. It's like, yeah, and the whole point of the character was that it was bad to do that.
Yeah, and, like, was that a great decision? Like, I wouldn't say it was a great thing. I wouldn't advise to do that. Like, but black people aren't a monolith, but talk from me and some other guys that I'm good friends with, we are not offended by it. But if somebody was, I wouldn't, like, be mad. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because it was, like...
It's still kind of, shitty.
But, like, as far as blackface I've seen done in comedy, it was the best version of it, because it was like, hey, this guy's a piece of shit. And people in the movie, including black people, are calling him a piece of shit.
Yeah. It was supposed to be, like, a glaringly obvious, like, this is wrong to do. Like,
this is a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's also, like, the whole conversation, like, not to super derail, but, like, it's brought up a lot of, like, interesting conversations about, like, queerness. Like, again, in terms of, like, whether, like, queer people should be cast to play queer characters, kind of thing. And I think it's such an and, like, it's a conversation that we have a lot in publishing about, like, whether queer people can write, or, like, should be writing queer, or, like, only queer people should be writing books that have, like, queer narratives in them, because we have such a push for what's called quote-unquote own voices.
Right.
In, books, and it's an interesting conversation because queerness is not visible necessarily in the same way that race is visible. And so, like, when you see that, like, only 40% of books that like, there was a stat that went out recently, like, in the last week, that, like, only 40% of books that have black protagonists are written by black people, and, like, that's bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's straightforwardly bad.
Yeah, the thing that came up with voice acting was kind of, so people said, shouldn't the best person be chosen? And that's, in a perfect world, in a fair world, yeah, I would say that you shouldn't cast based on XYZ thing. However, we don't live in that world. We live in a place where you will cast for something and you'll call your short list of people, right? Mm-hmm. Or you'll cast weird things. Like, Cleveland's a white guy because they thought that'd be an interesting joke, and, like, when they made the Cleveland show, his very redneck neighbor was voiced by a black guy. Like, that's part of the joke. It's like, okay, cool, like, I get it, and Cleveland show righted a lot of things that Family Guy wrong. Like, everybody in Cleveland's family, except for Cleveland and the one youngest son, are voiced by black people. There's black people in the show. Honestly, I think Cleveland's show does a lot of things just better than Family Guy, and they try to be more creative. It's a different story for a different day. But people will say stuff like, well, how come you're fine with, like, a black guy voicing Hawks in My Hero Academia, or, like, black people voicing non-black people? It's like, well,
because you're missing the whole point of how racism works.
Yeah, if we casted correctly, or gave the best person the job all the time, and we gave the opportunity to everybody, like, yeah, if you cast the best out of everybody you know, and the only black people you hired were just some randos off the street, and this is their first voicing gig, you probably aren't going to have any black people in your cast because they didn't get a fair shot. It's like, we're going to have, for these voice casts, we're going to have Tara Strong and those two girls from accounting. Like, who do you think's going to get that cast? Like, it's going to be Tara Strong every day. And you're like, I'm sorry, I just hired the best person we interviewed. Like, okay, well,
yeah, because you only interviewed, like, the interview itself was stacked.
Yeah, and then there's, like, not enough black characters in general for, like, if you say, hey, black people in America are 13% or so of the population, so they should have 13% of roles. I'm like, okay, cool. Are 13% of characters black characters? And you'd say no. It's like, okay, so we can't even get... What happens is
you even get parity to what, like, the actual representation in the country is, like...
Yeah, or something else like you look at, let's take Overwatch, because I have Overwatch League on the other screen, right? So you get, like, Doomfist. Like, let's take Lucio. Who can voice for Lucio? Like, black hip guys, or, like, just guys that are fun and hip. Like, Lucio's voice actor isn't a black guy. This is, I think it's Johnny Cruz. Good voice actor, he does the character well, but not a black guy. But when you voice for, let's say, Tracer, like, they're like, well, we want a Cockney British person, so we can't have any black women. It's like, okay, cool, so, like, white people could apply for all the roles. So when it turns out that most of your cast is not people of color, or, like, at least not black people, even past the fact of the amount of black characters you do have, it's like, wow, that kind of sucks.
As if there aren't any black people who have Cockney accents. Oh
yeah, that was also my thought.
Like,
well,
but also,
that's
like,
what I mean. Like, that they voice, like, well, we need somebody who's, like, fun, but, like, when you voice for black people, like, well, we need a black stereotype person. Like, okay, cool, but how come I didn't get it? Like, when you hear my voice, I don't think I sound stereotypically like anybody. Like, it's like a black guy from Pittsburgh. So it's like, well, we need a nerdy person. Like, well, we can't, like, you're black. Like, is that really a nerdy voice? It's like, yeah, it's my voice. I'm a nerd. What do you mean?
Guys, he's really a nerd.
So there's a lot of stuff with that,
There's an interesting thing, too, I saw that, like, even with voice, like, and this is something that, like, is about a live action show, but I think is relevant to voice acting, is there was a quote from Sandra Oh about being on Killing Eve, and there was like I guess a scene where the sound engineers were layering in the sound of her having shoes on inside the house. And,
but she wouldn't.
But she absolutely wouldn't. Like, she's like, that's how I was raised. Like, I would not be wearing shoes in the house. Like, so you need to take that layer back out because, like, but like a white person playing that same role, if it had been like a voice part or something and it was an Asian character, like, would not have caught that in the same way. Like, it wouldn't have, like, it's just a way that, like, whiteness is considered this, like, monolithic thing that, like, is the default, and unless someone is actually there to call you out on it, no one's gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's just so many layers to just how you would have this stuff. It is a very difficult conversation. I've seen different people saying, look, man, we just wanted equal rights and stop killing us. We don't, like, want all these half-assed gestures. And
there's a lot of performative shit happening right now.
Yeah. But on the other hand, some people are like, no, I want all of this. I want to be treated like a person. I don't want to be, like, unjustly killed. I want to be able to get a good role. It's like, yeah, these all are parts of it. However, when it starts to get weird with the performative stuff, this just came out today, I think, is that an episode of Golden Girls is being pulled from streaming where they were wearing, like, mud masks, I think. And they're like, well, it could look like blackface and people might get offended. And someone's like, no, what this is them trying to, like, make Black Lives Matter and quote-unquote woke people look petty and annoying. So when we're like, hey, I support Black Lives Matter, like, oh, what are you going to do next? Like, try to throw me in jail for getting a facial? It's like, no, like, we didn't ask for that. That was never anybody's request. Nobody cares about this, actually. If you think we were going to care about this, you're misrepresenting what we're saying, like, to make us look stupid, like, to make us look petty. That's all you're doing.
It's like...
Because I'm not mad at Bette Midler for wearing a mud mask in an episode of Golden Girls from, like, 30, 40 years ago. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it was like 37 states have painted Black Lives Matter on the ground, but only one has ended the concept of qualified immunity for cops. Like,
yeah, like
performative shit is not what we like.
Yeah, show us the Black Lives Matter. Don't just.
But we did it outside of Trump Tower.
Fucking De Blasio can go suck 85 dicks, like,
which
at least.
However, I don't mind you doing these if you're doing real things. Like, I think there is a need for symbolism and performative shit. Like, hey, you know what? We're going to paint Black Lives Matter outside of Trump Tower just to piss him off, like, but we're also going to pass laws. I will take both of those. I will absolutely take the performative bullshit if it pisses off a bigot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But that's not where I'm saying that just partially be funny. But that's not enough to just say, hey, we're going to paint Black Lives Matter. Have fun getting your ass beat by the cops on the same street. Like, it's not enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, some of it, I think there is a level of more of it is, like, more than just performative. You know, like, taking these statues down and changing Splash Mountain.
Oh, smooth segue.
Hey, you know me.
Yeah, so this is something that I thought was very interesting. Most, like, I mean, I always see why they would want to change Splash Mountain, because it is a lot of, like, weird, like, hickey stereotypes and badness. I did not know until this week when people were talking about the fact that Splash Mountain's going to be updated to, like, be a Princess and the Frog theme ride instead of what it currently is, that the characters in Splash Mountain are from Song of the South, the movie so racist that Disney doesn't want to admit it exists and will not put it on any streaming service.
That's, like, the only thing I know about Song of the South, and from watching, like, film and, like people adjacent to Left Tube, I just know that, like, it's not even that good. Like, there's a couple songs in it that are, like, okay, but, like, it's not a good movie.
Is that where the song that's on Splash Mountain, Zippity Doo Dah?
Yeah, it's from Song of the South, but I've never seen it. I just have read that that's where it's from. Yeah.
Yeah, I only know that from, like, the Disney sing-along VHSs that I had as a kid. Like, I'd never seen the actual movie.
Yeah, they were very proud of that song.
I mean, look, you can make a good song and put it next to some racist-ass shit. Like, it's possible to do it.
The only reason I knew that it was based on Song of the South was thanks to Defunct Land talking about, like, the origins of that ride. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, so Disney did a good cover-up job to begin with, is what we're saying.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm sure that's partially probably the reason why it's going to be, like, Princess and the Frog, is because we're going to take this racist thing and make it the black one.
But also, I feel like it's easy to... It's, like, it's already a boat ride.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's fairly easy to retheme.
And people are like, "Oh, see, this is what cancel culture does again." And it's like, honestly, you like take the race, like, you can't, but like take the racism out of the discussion of this ride, because obviously it hasn't been an issue till now. I'm sure some execs, I think Todd in the Shadow said this, execs at Disney were probably like, "Yo, this shit doesn't have any current like characters on it. Like, put something that we can market on there." Like,
exactly, it's also a marketing move.
Yeah, we can't market Song of the South because it's racist, and also it's fucking 800 years old anyway. People aren't buying Song of the South merchandise. Put something current on there that we could sell a doll to. Hey, Princess and the Frog, like, let's put a ride there. Now it's more marketable. Yeah. And plus, you change it, people are going to ride it again just because it changed. Like,
yeah, just to see what's different.
Well, some people are going to boycott it because they're like weird fucking like quote unquote preservationists who think that it's, like, changing it is changing the history of the park. Which, it's like, history fucking changes.
Bad news for people about Disney World.
Yeah.
If you're super hype about racism, like, I'm sure you could still get your fix just by being in Disneyland. Like, it's... But, yeah, I've never been... Is it Disneyland or Disney World? I've never been to either Disney.
Both of them have a Splash Mountain.
Yeah, both of them have one.
Oh, hey, well, cool. That's two mountains they get to rebuild, and it stimulates the economy by giving people jobs.
Hell yeah.
Along with Disney just making money, Hamilton's coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Weird get.
You're going to be able to watch Hamilton on Disney Plus starting on the 3rd, minus 2 of the F-bombs, because they don't want to rate it R. Which, cool, I guess it's whatever.
Dude, what did they change the F-bombs to, do you think?
Well, so I've heard.
Mute and one's a record scratch.
Yeah, it's like a radio edit, basically.
I thought it was going to be like Fritos or something.
No, yeah. Honestly, like, they took out the 2, like, really satisfying fucks, and kept the boring one that I guess makes the most sense. Honestly, I didn't realize that it was a whole fuck until this discussion.
Which one is it? There's Southern motherfucking Democratic Republicans. You fat mother. That out. Well, that one's already bleeped.
That one's already bleeped. So they took out the "When you knock me down, I get the fuck back up again," that Hercules Mulligan says. That one's just muted. The Southern motherfucking Democratic Republicans is record scratch. And the one that they kept was, "That was my wife you decided to fuck." Like,
that's a good one to keep, though.
Well, I thought, like, I didn't even realize it was a whole fuck. Like, I thought it was just like a kind of thing.
I mean, that might count.
But yeah, I mean, like, it works, like, I understand, like, it's, like, sentence-wise, like, there's the double meaning there, like, it's actually part of the sentence as opposed to just, like, flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, that one would need, out of the most needing, those are the needed ones, yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, besides that, I've seen Hamilton live, but I haven't seen it with Lynn, and I already have Disney Plus, so I'm going to watch it again, because lots of problems with Hamilton, but soundtrack fucking bangs. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, yeah, it absolutely bangs. We're definitely watching it the day it hits, but, July 3rd, y'all, this weekend. Yep. And, like I said, like, Disney, like, they got rid of I'm pretty sure they literally got rid of their free trial for Disney Plus because of Hamilton, because Disney Plus is their only revenue stream right now.
Yeah.
And if a bunch of people just got Disney Plus free trial to watch Hamilton and then never subscribed, they would be...
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm excited. I started listening to the soundtrack again this week. It's still fun. It's good. And it'll have, like, the stuff that is missing from the soundtrack, like the stuff with Lawrence and all that.
Yeah. And it's, like, I mean, it's pro shot, too, so, like, I've seen the bootleg, which is, like, as bootlegs go, not bad. But, like, also,
I'd rather see it professionally filmed.
Yeah,
like the stuff they have given us, like, on CBS and stuff.
Yeah, and, like, to the point of, like, sure, like, Disney got rid of their free trial, but, like, even if you were going to see it live and you won the lottery, you would still pay $10.
Yeah, so $7.
Like, so $7 when it's not even, like, you can't even see it live right now because Broadway's closed until at least November. Like...
Yeah, it's a good deal to see something that was somewhat of a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
Especially, like, in July 4th weekend. I'd rather celebrate this fucking... fake-ass, overly liberal, people of color version of America than the shit that actually exists right now. Like, if I had to pick one.
For real.
Which isn't
Stop shooting off fireworks, watch Hamilton.
Yeah, which is not a woke take, but I'm only human and we all have our shit. I don't support people that are openly bigoted, so it makes me better than people that love Twitch streamers.
Smooth segue. You were just like, you were on a segue, like you were riding this segue from topic to topic today.
Yeah.
It's what I do, y'all. It's what I do.
We have respect for it.
I'm assuming you're transferring here straight over to the most
various...
recent, but the most recent big Twitch ban of Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah. Dr. Disrespect has been permabanned for Twitch, and he said he has not been informed by Twitch as to why, which kind of sounds like he has an idea. Twitch has not said anything.
It's like,
what that sounds like is that sounds like him saying that for plausible deniability because his lawyer told him to.
Yeah.
Like,
which means, Twitch probably didn't say anything. If I'm like, man, the cops came to my house last night, but they didn't tell me why, it's like, motherfucker, you either know it was for no reason or you know why. Like,
yeah.
You mean? But yeah, he's been permabanned, which is interesting because people are like, I could think of like at least 3 reasons why he should have been before.
Yep. Like filming inside of a bathroom.
Which is against the law.
Yeah.
What about bathrooms?
Last year, E3.
Or the previous year, he was doing a live stream and then walked into a bathroom in California. If you did that in Pennsylvania, I think people would just be upset, but in California, it's like literally against the law.
Yeah. Like,
and there was like a child in there. Like,
oh yeah, that's not good.
Know.
Yeah, which, it's one of those things, it's like, I don't think it was malicious, but it was still like a creepy, gross thing to do.
Yeah.
Interesting that that's against the law. Like, it should be, but I'm just surprised that it is.
California is ahead of the curve on some things.
Yeah, which, I mean, he did get a suspension for that, which I don't think Twitch... Twitch's live stream rules of, like, doing an IRL stream is like, why would someone do that? We didn't think to make a rule about that. But, like, other than don't do dumb shit, I think. But yeah, he did catch a small suspension for that and has been permanently banned right around the time that there's been a lot of stuff with people saying, hey, Twitch, you need to deal with, like, your racism and sexism and, like, homophobia issues that are on your platform that are sort of built in with, like, the emotes and the way that people cultivate their audiences. And this is coming right off... other people apparently are being banned too. I'm not sure exactly who or why. Some of it's for DMCA reasons. Some of it's just for other mass reporting reasons. Like, there's a woman who has been banned for, like, body painting, which, like, the rules explicitly say that you can do that if you're covered to a certain degree, but that doesn't mean that you won't get mass reported by, like, shitty men that are just being sexist or salty or...
I was going to say, I feel like there were a lot of issues, like, popping up, like, on my Twitter, which is tangential to Twitch streaming, about, like, people being mad about women.
Yeah, a lot of times people are just straight up mad about women.
Then there are some where it's, like, it is just a Twitch questionably, like, applying rules to certain people and not to others.
Yeah, like, I think it's...
I was thinking of Alinity, who's, like, abused her cat live on stream. Like,
yeah, it's like throwing her cat and, like, giving it alcohol. And it's like how I was talking about Tencent earlier. It's like, I think your issue is that this is a woman doing well on Twitch, and there happens to be something that she's actually done that's wrong. Like, I don't think that most people online are that upset. Like, most of the people who post ban Alinity under every Twitch comment, I don't think are that upset that she gave her cat some alcohol or threw it one time. You should
or showed her titty on stream.
Yeah, like, I don't like, I'm like, oh, that seems like a TOS violation. I'm not upset about it. It doesn't affect my life. Like, I don't care. So I think the issue is that it's a woman on Twitch doing better than you want her to do, and she has happened to break some rules.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I'm sure there's a few people like, I got banned for, like, streaming this game you said I could stream, but she's fine. So there's probably a few people that are actually upset. But I'm not worried about those people. Those people are just have an issue and they're dealing with it. Whatever. But yeah, other people are, like, getting banned, and Twitch is being kind of vague about why. Twitch needs to fix a lot of shit, especially on the heels of Mixer shutting down and going to Facebook.
Yeah.
And basically a lot of people leaving Mixer.
So what is Mixer to begin with? Was it just a similar streaming platform like Twitch, or?
Yeah, it was owned by Microsoft and was integrated really well into, like, the Xbox and Windows, like, interface.
Yeah.
And had actually, like, for when it came out, I don't know if Twitch ever eventually, like, caught up to it, but actually had, like, closer to seamless streaming than Twitch did. Like, everything was faster, basically.
Yeah, think Dr. Pibb. Actually, a pretty good soda. nothing wrong with it, but like you compare it to like Coke and Pepsi, people are like, what the fuck is Dr. Pibb? Like, no one drinks that. It's like a lot of people actually like Dr. Pibb and actually prefer it to Coke and Pepsi. But no one, it's always a joke. That's the best comparison I can make.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it had a lot of potential to be very successful because it was built very well. But Microsoft was going about it in the worst possible way. Yeah, it wasn't taking off, and it wasn't doing super well, so they started doing things like offering lucrative contracts to like big name streamers like Ninja. Like Ninja was exclusive to Mixer for I don't know, I guess less than
it was 364-ish days.
Yeah, I was gonna say for like a year basically, and then Mixer's like, now we're shutting down, and like we're gonna we're basically they sold to Facebook Gaming, which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I just found out like 2 weeks ago that Amazon had game developers, so.
Yeah, well,
so did a lot of us actually.
Yeah, but like the issue being that like. Mixer was a big integration inside of the like Xbox user interface, and there were buttons to stream directly to Mixer. There was a whole like dashboard tab that was just like showing what was streaming on Mixer right then. And then like that begs the question of like, now that it's sold to Facebook, is that just going to be a big Facebook tab on the Microsoft, on like the Xbox like landing page basically?
And a big problem with this is the problem that you consistently tell us about with Facebook is that it's just shitty, but like a lot of people just don't fuck with Facebook like that. Before we even get into like,
I don't.
Before we even get into like why Facebook gaming divorced from the Zuckerberg bullshit, like why it's just a shitty platform. We'll talk about that in a second. But people are like, yo, I don't fuck with Facebook. Like, I'm not going to Facebook gaming. Like, they're welcoming us over there, cool. But I'll just go to Twitch and take my chances there. Like, fuck Facebook. I was watching one streamer. I got linked to her. She was like, so the shittiness of this, all like, there's like, they have like a thing called Twitch partners. When you make it big enough, you like do subs and get money from Twitch. They have something like that with Mixer. So the people that are like the big Mixer streamers and the employees of Mixer all found out through a tweet that shit was shutting down. Like, they weren't informed ahead of time. They found out when the rest of us was, and they're like, what the fuck? Like, we have had no time to try to, like, set up our home. Like, they have, like, 30 days or something. Like, it's not like, hey, we're shutting down today. Like, so I guess there's that. But, like, hey, I found out my platform's going away when everyone else did. Like, thanks for the warning.
Like, somebody got, like, their Mixer partner sweatshirt and hat in the mail the same day they got the notification about it being like shut down.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like,
but and it's one thing. It's bad, but it's one thing to be shitty to your moneymakers. But like the employees, like people who work on the back end of Mixer, like found out at that same time. Like, so my job's going away. What the fuck? Like, why couldn't you tell us? So all that's bad. So it's just a big like clusterfuck. People are like, oh, I guess Ninja and Shroud are going to be coming back to Twitch, and I want to talk about, like, why that was probably a bad idea. A lot of people that were Ninja and Shroud fans, I think, were fans of them. And I don't know how much they were fans of necessarily streaming in general. Which is not a good or bad thing, it's just a neutral thing. But they're like, well, it'll be cool. Like, if people come to see Ninja and Shroud, when they're done streaming, they'll stay on the platform. It's like, well, no. Like, it's not like
they won't.
You had a game exclusive on there or anything. Like, you had a couple of personalities that are, well, Ninja's pretty polarizing. I've never really heard anyone like have a problem with Shroud. He's just like a really good gamer. Like, that happens, but a lot of people like don't fuck with Ninja either. So it's like, well, yeah, there might be 1 million people coming to your platform to see him, but they're going to leave when he's done, or like just watch his partner streams. Like, his friends are still on Twitch, so like they can still interact with him via that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a big mess because they didn't do anything like developing a community, and like a lot of the stuff that's toxic about Twitch, like, might not, like, Mixer came out and they got some slack for it, but they're like, hey, we're gonna have a terms of service that's very defined, and it was like that, you can't wear a shirt that you wouldn't wear at a restaurant, like, that kind of stuff, and people were like, this is shitty to women, which is not good, but it wasn't like a thing with Twitch. I think Twitch was the one that's like, don't wear something that would be considered inappropriate, and they're like, what the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, what the fuck?
But Mixer was like, we don't care what gender you are, shit can't come down, like, past a certain few inches on your chest. Like, we're just gonna say no one can, like, men can't have their shirt off, women can't, nobody. We're not fucking with that because we don't want to be, we'd rather be shitty to everybody than to be sexist, which I guess is a better way to go about it. It wasn't good, and they worked through it.
Take it.
But they had, like, terms of service that people thought had some meaning to them, and they were trying to do stuff. So we have the people that want to like spam tryhard7 every time a black person goes on screen and then claim that it has nothing to do with race, or say, oh my god, Grill's on screen every time a woman's there. That's not going to be welcomed as much on Twitch. And a lot of streamers that have these giant chats, it's just spam and nonsense anyway, so it's not going to really translate the same way to another platform. So I think there was just a whole, like, their whole strategy was kind of weird. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It made me sad. And then Facebook gaming, like, when we're done with this, for listener, just try, if you have a Facebook, try to go on Facebook gaming and find something. Like, it's just, like, just go try to find an Overwatch stream, like Overwatch or Valorant or Grand Theft Auto stream that is, like, looks like there's more than 20 people there, like, consistently, because they exist. There are people that stream a lot on Facebook gaming, especially in South America, but finding them is fucking difficult, and it's not a good experience to try to do. It's I don't like using, the platform just sucks to use. Facebook is shitty, but it's pretty decent to use, like, as a physical, like, as a product. If you want to get to someone's profile, you can do that. You want to find a status, you relatively can do that. Trying to find a game on Facebook Gaming, like, I don't know the fuck that they're trying to do, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So, like, combine that, so it's a bad product that people don't want to use for reasons that aren't related to the product, is a bad spot to be in.
That's rough.
Yes, that's really rough. So, blessings to all the people that need to move over to another server, like Twitch or YouTube Gaming or something. YouTube is better than it's different than Facebook, but it's the Pepsi to Twitch's Coke. Like, Twitch is the GOAT service, but has a lot of problems that they need to work out. So
it's just it's really frustrating to see, like, that happen to the people who were streaming on Mixer, and then, like, Phil Spencer, the head of, like, basically the Xbox team, didn't really put out a great statement about it. Like, his statement was basically being like, we decided that we need to focus on, it basically boiled down like it was a lot of corporate speak for, we just needed to focus on other stuff.
Great.
So
Cool. We love it.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those, like, okay, like, that's not like, you should have still done this better.
Yeah. It was just, there's just, like, better ways to do stuff, and I think that kind of speaks to, like, the whole, like, corporate apology kind of nonsense that we've been going through the past, like, forever, but mostly in the last month or so. Like, yo, we're sorry that we were shitty. Hope you don't feel bad.
I understand that Mixer wasn't perfect. I just really, like, as a person who is looking forward to new consoles coming out this year, I really don't want to see a big Facebook tab on the Xbox.
Yeah.
That is like my ultimate nightmare of, like, forced integration with Facebook, something that I, like, pried myself away from, like, just about a year ago at this point, and, like, do not miss and do not want to have to see.
Yeah, but that might be, like, a nice thing, though, if they don't have, like, loyalty to something, that they can just have, like, good streaming integration that you can choose where you want to stream it to if you have a streaming key. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, that's what Mixer was supposed to be. I mean, I guess it was their own product, so, like, yeah, I guess you could say that, like, of course they're going to push it because it was their product, but, like, I don't know, like, I guess, yeah, like, integrate it with Twitch and YouTube, kind of like the PS4 does.
Yeah,
like,
PS4 I think does it just put a streaming suite on it. Even if you're going to call it Microsoft Mixer for everything at this point, that could be something. Yeah, long episode today, lots of game stuff.
There's so much to talk about. I'm amazed we're only at fucking hour 20.
You two know about Animal Crossing. There's some news there, right?
I know things about Animal Crossing.
Me.
So the thing that is exciting and new about Animal Crossing, well, first of all, yesterday, as of recording, was the bug off, and apparently there will be more this summer, but I was a little annoyed because even though Flick was here for the bug off, he would not accept any, like, commissions, and I have, like, 8 things lined up that I want to commission from him.
So it was kind of like the fishing tournament. Like, he was just there to do the fishing, and, like, you could sell fish to him or whatever.
Exactly. It was exactly like the fishing tournament.
Yeah, see, I was a dum-dum and didn't realize that was happening yesterday until I saw your message at, like, 10 p.m. when it was already long over. So
yeah, but it was fun. It's interesting, like, the fishing tourney is tricky because like you can just, like, have bait in your pocket and go, like, run to the ocean and fish for, like, the whole 3 minutes and not, like, have to, like, run all over the place to catch fish. Whereas for bugs, there's no equivalent to fish bait. But at least you know what you're catching every time.
Yeah.
But so I never got more than 11 bugs in like a go. But I got there were some cool prizes. Like some of them were dumb, like I don't need a spider welcome, like door welcome plate thing, or like anything like that. But like I guess there were like spider webs you could hang on the walls and like toy bugs and stuff you could put out. And so I have a Magnus Archives themed room in my house, so like I was very excited to get some spider webs and toy bugs to spook it up a little bit more.
It's a very good room for listeners, just so you know.
It's very good. I'm quite fond of it. But the new and exciting thing about Animal Crossing, besides that now I have Audia on my island and she's wonderful. She's the exact same character type as the villager who moved out, but she's much cuter, and so I don't care.
You got super lucky on that.
I'm so excited about it. But the exciting thing is that they're going to be releasing an update, like a free update that involves us being able to swim.
Which is a feature that was in the 3DS version, New Leaf.
Okay.
But it looks like they're doing a little bit more with it, like, because swimming in the 3DS in New Leaf was just like, if you see a big blob in the water, dive and you'll get a thing. But this looks like there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see, like, I'm sure it will scare fish away, for example. Like, I'm interested to see if there's anything, like, I don't know, like, because right now, like, you run up to the edge of the ocean, and you just, it's a hard barrier, like, you just kind of skid along the edge as you...
It'll most likely be, you have to wear, like, a swimming outfit. Like, it was like a diving suit, basically, in New Leaf. And, like, then there was just, like, other fish and stuff to collect inside the water.
Uh-huh. So maybe, like, maybe we can get, like, starfish or something that wouldn't be caught with a...
Yeah, things like that, like sea urchins, like, things like that. That's what I remember of it from from New Leaf. I would like to take this second to register my disdain for the fact that manila clams are neither fish nor bugs. Even though they are clearly alive because they squirt water, you cannot donate them to the museum. Like, it's already weird enough that hermit crabs are bugs. Well, the good news is that the stuff you probably get from diving will be, like, clams and things like that you can donate. So.
Okay, good.
But that's the first wave of updates they're doing this summer, and then there's going to be a second one in August that they haven't released any details about, was the big Animal Crossing news this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited about swimming. I don't have anything... Well, the thing that was funny to me about swimming is that, like, I'm pretty sure the picture of the person swimming was, like a shirtless character in trunks. And, like, you can't get that naked yet in Animal Crossing. Even if you were wearing no clothes from your wardrobe, you're still wearing, like, a tank and, like, boxers. Like, plain white.
Yeah. It'll be cool. It'll be cool to have more content, basically, in that game.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm at a point right now with it where there are still things that I want to do, but I've, like kind of plateaued in terms of, like, I'm way too far out from certain accomplishments that, like, it's going to take me, like, no matter, even if I tried really hard, it would take me several, like, another months to accomplish them, like, certain, like, Nook Miles tasks.
Yeah.
And there are certain things that, like, I'm really happy with how my house looks right now, but I keep getting, hitting just below, like, the gold trophy for the, like, the Happy Home Academy every Sunday, and, like, come on. Like, I like my house. It's cute. My whole living room's got this whole, like, shell and Zodiac furniture aesthetic going. Like,
I've been bad, and I haven't really checked in this whole week on that game. I've been too busy playing some other stuff that I acquired for the Switch.
Yeah, well, you should sign in, because I've definitely mailed you stuff since,
oh, okay.
last week.
Good to know.
Sign on in.
Which, the reason I actually ended up buying a bunch of stuff on the Switch was because of knowing that things were on sale on Steam, and therefore thinking that they'd also be first on sale on the Switch, which they were.
Man, are we gonna get a Segue sponsorship here?
Yeah. It's good, right?
Yeah. Well, like, it is exactly the reason I bought specifically the game called Fell Seal Arbiter's Mark, which is literally just Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced, but like an indie company making it, and it's very, very good. I don't have a ton to say about it other than it being pretty much a perfect update to a Final Fantasy Tactics style game.
Yeah. So like isometric grid-based strategy stuff,
Yeah, the art is beautiful. It's all pixel art. It's very well done.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Next time you recommend me a JRPG, maybe I'll think about.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
finally downloading it.
It would be worth getting right now because it was only $8, I think, on sale. So like that's a really good price for this game that I feel like is going to be probably at least like 50 hours plus. So it's a good game.
Yes, but especially you've been like jet setting through all kinds of genres of games, right? Steph? Like
I'm just like living my best life over here.
Like you got Pokemon Go, you got Cafe Mix, you got Katamari, Animal Crossing, Crypt of the Necrodancer, Crash, Okami. Like you're all over the place.
Just finding the things that I like. I'm just a very well-rounded gamer girl. Hashtag females.
Well, speaking of females, let's talk about the Bratz dolls real quick. The Bratz dolls are gay now, officially.
There are at least 2 of them that are gay.
Yeah, tell us about this story, because I looked at them like, what's going on?
So apparently, like, I don't know what the backstory to this is. Like, I feel like there was probably some sort of reason that this was, like, the move that the Bratz brand decided to make this Pride Month. Because, like, it's June, so brands gotta, like, pretend like they care about gay people for 30 days. But, so they released this, picture of 2 of the Bratz dolls with just, like, very comically poorly photoshopped, like, one was wearing, like, a bi pride pin and one had, like, a lesbian flag bracelet on. Nevra and Roxy with 2 X's.
Of course.
And, like, they appear to be in a relationship. The dolls are posed as to be holding hands, but, like, if you look at the pictures remotely closely, you can tell that these are not real accessories. Like, someone very, like, my level of Photoshop ability, like
drew the colors on, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, and like put a shine effect on it. Like,
it's not great once you look at it.
It may have been Bratz fan art for all we know.
Truly.
I haven't done any investigation, so you could be right.
No, yeah, it's very, I don't know, it cracks me up. Like, it's like, this is the same performativity level of, like, painting Black Lives Matter on the street that you're still tear gassing people on. Like, what does this do?
Yeah, I wonder, like, I don't know anything about doll fandoms, so, like, I don't know how much people, like, care about this stuff. Like, maybe they do, like, maybe that'll be part of, like, the backstory of these characters. So, like, maybe it matters. Like, if Barbie had a gay friend that explicitly wasn't into Ken, that may have been a big deal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't know. Like, whenever I play with action figures and dolls, because some of them were just dolls. It is what it is. Whatever. If I wanted, like, Goku and Optimus Prime to be gay, like,
that was a thing you could just do.
Yeah, Namco can't stop me, or
the Namco police come into your house and tell you that Goku cannot be gay with Optimus Prime.
Yeah, like Hasbro,
because it's clearly with Vegeta.
Yeah. Hasbro can't stop me. Like, maybe Starscream and Bumblebee got busy. Like,
the Katamari Prince is asexual, and you cannot change my mind.
The Prince.
Come at me, Namco.
That might be supported by canon. I don't know.
Oh, the King of All Cosmos uses Royal Rainbow, so...
Yeah. But he's an abusive dad, so... Hey, but Thor is a double wielder.
Yeah. So, that's why the Rainbow Bridge had to be stopped. Like, Rainbow's not enough. Did we miss anything? I think that's everything.
That's
I think if we did miss something, we've talked about enough things.
Yeah, it's time to stop.
It's time to stop.
I
think it's because we knew we were in a long one, but I think we talked about Pokemon Cafe Mix for 10 plus minutes, maybe 15.
Yeah, we should have cut that down and talked more about the Steam sale, obviously.
We're not gonna, but there were some weird points thing, like some other scheme that Steam is doing with the Steam sale, like something else Valve is doing.
Yeah, you can use your points that you get for spending money to get backgrounds for your profile, question mark?
Capitalism is gross. Just let me buy these things. Don't make me buy other stuff to like get your fake currency. Like
you get the fake currency by buying normal things. It's like 100 points per dollar or something like that. I don't know. And that's permanent. That's a permanent addition to Steam from now on.
Okay, that's not as exploitative, but like that's weird.
Yeah.
Damn it. Happy Pride. We're pretty much at the end.
Yeah, it's end of the month.
Thanks for sticking with us if you listened to the whole episode. We really appreciate that. We're still going to have our charity stream in a couple weeks or 3.
We'll most likely on the 11th, but we're still working it out.
Yeah. But, shit, man. God damn.
Slam your hand on the... Also, she's eating a sandwich in that ad. I don't know what...
Not in front of my sandwich.
I forgot about that.
Really? In front of my sandwich? Oh, hey, there's a bunch of motorcycles driving by outside.
Hey, that's usually like me.
Yeah, I guess they're like...
That's how you know that the podcast is over.
That's how you know. Someone want to do social media biz?
I got it.
Should I do it? You gonna do it? Cool.
I can hop in.
Thank you.
Anytime, my guy. So, if you want to find us on the internet, you can find our podcast on the podcast catcher of your choice by searching for Character Reveal. If you are on a podcatcher that allows you to offer a review and or a rating, we would love for you to participate in such a thing. You can find this podcast on the internet at characterreveal.simplecast.fm if you want to listen in your browser. You can find us on Facebook at Character Reveal, on Twitter at Character Rev, that's Character REV. Find us on Instagram at Character Reveal, where we post hot clips from our latest episodes.
Hot clips.
Is that like a knockoff haircut place? I feel like there's definitely like a Supercuts kind of hot clips.
It sounds familiar, honestly.
But yeah, you can find Dom at Brother Dom anywhere on the internet, and the same with Eric. You can find him at Tindy Losi.
No, you can also find me at Brother Dom.
You can also find him at Brother Dom anywhere on the internet.
I retweet you from time to time when it's like Miku stuff. So yeah, like it's quite possible you can find Eric at my Twitter account.
And then you can find me at not a Character Reveal. Also, but you can find me at Captain Steph on Twitter, at the Snowclear on Tumblr, and at Hella Steph on Instagram. And that's the biz.
That's the biz.
That's it all. Yeah.
That's everything. Thanks for listening to another episode of Geekly Reveal. We'll be back next week with another episode. Shit.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Peace, y'all. See you next time.
It's blood.
It's blood. Until next time.
Until next time, it's blood.
Bye.